Welcome to online class for honors third year, Department of English, course code 231105, course title 17th and 18th century, non-fictional prose. Today, I want to discuss about Francis Bacon, who was born in 1561 and died in 1626. In your syllabus, Francis Bacon's prose of marriage and single life, of truth, of plantation, of great place, of revenge, and of love. These are the short prose in your syllabus. Before going to discuss in detail, I want to give a brief discussion about Francis Bacon. Biography of the essayist. Francis Bacon, 1561 to 1626, was an English scientist and lawyer. Bacon was an instrumental figure in the Renaissance and scientific enlightenment. In particular, Bacon developed and popularized a scientific method which marked a new scientific rigor based on evidence, results, and a methodical approach to science. He is widely considered to be the father of empiricism and scientific revolution of the Renaissance period. Early life of Francis Bacon. Bacon was born 22nd January 1561 near the Strand, London, England. Aged 12, he entered Trinity College, Cambridge, where he followed a traditional medieval curriculum with most lessons conducted in Latin. Although he admired Aristotle, he was critical of Aristotle's approach to philosophy and the scholastic tradition, which was unquestioning in accepting past assumptions of the classic teachers such as Aristotle and Plato. Religion. Francis Bacon was a Protestant Christian, and his Christian faith was important to his outlook on life. However, his approach was broad minded, seeing the role of rational scientific analysis. Personal life. Aged 36, Bacon courted Elizabeth Hutton, but she broke off their relationship to marry Sir Edward Coke, a lifelong rival of Bacon's. At the age of 45, Bacon married Alice Farmham, who at the time was just 14. The couple split. After disagreements over money, Bacon later disinherited Alice after he divorced. She had an affair with another man. On 9th April 1626, Bacon died from pneumonia. Style of writing. Bacon's style is most remarkable for his preciseness. He has a great command of condensation of the sentences. Each sentences of his essay contains multiple meanings and references. He combines wisdom and heavity, and his short, pithy sayings became famous as motifs and useful expressions. His writing style is aphoristic, which means a compact, condensed, and epigrammatic style of writing. He was expert in expressing truth in a few possible words with beauty. His essays are the example of this artistic style. Dear students, in your syllabus, the first essay of Francis Bacon is of marriage and single life. In Of Marriage and Single Life, Bacon highlights the difference between the married life and the single life and the various advantages and disadvantages of the same. The burden of the married life, according to Bacon, a married man has a family to raise and take care of. He is totally committed to providing security to them, but such commitment leaves him unable to make up any enterprise, whether good or bad, noble or wicked. He loses his freedom to go after what his heart longs for. In Marriage and Single Life, Bacon is able to compare single life and married life through different issues. He puts forward the pros and cons of marriage in terms of how it is viewed by society and how it is affects an individual. Even though he enlists the burdens and limitations of marriage, he extols the benefits of marriage and how it shapes a person. Bacon insists that having a family can make a man generous and merciful. It teaches a form of disciplines that a single man lack and thus are more cruel and reckless. In analytical view, the essay Marriage and Single Life, we can find some points about married and unmarried persons. Nature. A man having a family to maintain will generally take no risk, as he has the responsibility to look after his wife and children. A man is in no position to undertake great enterprises, whether these are directed to good purposes or evil. Certainly, the best work and of greatest merit for the public have been proceeded from the unmarried or childrenless man, because the person who are married and have children should have greatest care of future times. Reasons for not getting married. These are various reasons for which some people remain unmarried. Some of these are as under discussion. Some person lead a single life because their thoughts do end with themselves. Some chronic bachelors think that wife and children are bills and charges. Since they do not want to spend any money, they prefer to be unmarried. Some unmarried person are foolish, rich, covetous men, as they take pride in having no children, because they may be thought so much the richer, they often bear he, the rich person, hath a great charge of children, as if it were abatement to his riches. The most ordinary cause of single life is liberty, especially in certain self-pleasing and their humorous minds. They look upon even the belts and graters to be carved on their liberty. Quality of unmarried persons. Unmarried men are best friends, best masters, and best servants. Some professions are prefer only for unmarried persons. A clergyman should not get married. If he has a family, he will not save any money or affection to offer to others. It does not matter if judges and magistrates do not marry. If they are corrupt, they will receive bribes through agents which are much worse than wives. Quality of a married person. Married person are better citizens because the unmarried person having no responsibility find it easy to flee from the country if it becomes necessary for them to do so. It is better for soldiers to be married. They fight much better if just before the battle they are reminded by their commanders of their families waiting for them back to home. Turkish soldiers are so vulgar and base. Having a wife and children develops the softer feelings of a man. An unmarried man may give more charity because he can easily spare the money for the purpose. But otherwise, he is likely to be more cruel and hard hearted than a married man. Wives and husbands. Women who are faithful to their husbands are often proud of their chastity. If a wife thinks her husband to be wise, he will command her loyalty as well as obedience. A wife does not respect a jealous husband. For a young man's wife, a mistress. For a middle class aged man, she is a companion. For an old man, she serves as a nurse. This means that a man may marry at any age. There can be no doubt about Bacon's greatness as an essayist or prose artist. The essay of marriage and single life clearly demonstrates Bacon's power and talents. Bacon was a scholar, a man of sound common sense and great practical wisdom. He was a scientist by temperament, a judge by a profession, a great parliamentarian with a shrewd and observant eye. Bacon exploits all his attributes to the maximum to achieve his purpose. He has very keen thought into human character and affairs. He has the rare talent of discussing everything from various angles and sense of view. He expresses his ideas and observations effectively and forcefully. His arguments are logical and convincing. Most of them are both draft and everyday life. The choice of his images is also very happy. His illustration and discussion are so powerful that they never fall to achieve their purpose, fail to achieve their purpose. Bacon is a scholar and a practical philosopher who speculates about commonplace subjects and makes them enliven and exalted with his treatment. Morality, if it is suits the purpose of practical utility, has a place in his scheme of this. His talent for condensation is also employed to advantage here. For charity will hardly water the ground where it must first fill a pool. Thank you. Dear students, thank you for everyone. I think all of you practice next essay Next class I will take of truth, of plantation, of great place, of revenge, of love. I think or I hope that you will practice all the essays in your home. Thank you all.